Okay, I'm going to Freeport to see the ice breaking up on the Allegheny River. I saw some people from Kittanning pass me while I was at North Park, and they said that's the best place to go to see it. It's about 50 degrees today, and we've had a pretty cold last month with a little break in between, but there's just been ice jams everywhere, and it's supposed to be quite a thing to see. There's the ice flows. I thought they'd be coming down the river. This is Freeport, holy heck. That's what I see. Oh my gosh. Let's go down here. Where I came to kayak about 3 or 4 months ago. Giant iceberg. Whoa. Let's see. What? Way up here. Yes. This is 30 times zoomed across the Allegheny River. Just really hoping to see these things floating down the river. Trees. Oh, it's high. Oh, it's gotta be 8 or 10 feet high. That would be on the east bank of the Allegheny River, just across from Freeport, Westmoreland County side. And of course, there you're just looking at the Freeport Bridge.
Welcome to the TubeBuddy Express podcast, brought to you by TubeBuddy, the #1 tool to make your YouTube life easy. Each week, we discuss how you can utilize TubeBuddy to enhance your YouTube experience.
This is at the Allegheny River, Ciccone River Junction here near Freeport, Pennsylvania, block number 5. Driving along the Allegheny River today because someone said there's a lot of ice jams up here that are pretty epic, and I wanted to see them before they're gone. I was hoping to see chunks of ice floating on the river, but I guess that stage already happened, so what's left is big pieces of ice that are stuck along the edge of the river. Some of them 5 feet high, 6 feet, maybe even 10 feet high. They look like icebergs, and they're kind of conglomerates of ice and snow. Similar to the ice dunes that you would see up on the Great Lakes, like at Prescott, just all scattered throughout the river. Stop here and take a picture. Looks like you can pull over here. It's an interesting area. You can see the river is running kind of high. That right there is the Ciccone River, the mouth of the Ciccone, where it empties into the Allegheny River. And then looking down here, you have the Allegheny River looking south toward Freeport. Two different railroad bridges crossing each respective river. It's about 45 or 50 degrees today, so stuff is melting fast. Wow, kind of looks like a scene from Dr. Seuss or something down there. State Route 28 north, about, or 128 north of Freeport, about 10 miles here, to the southern end of Ford City. And just at the lower end of Ford City, there's a side road that says it goes to Rosston. Rosston is in Armstrong County, but it's the southern terminus of the Armstrong bike trail. As I was driving across the Ford City Bridge, on Route 128, I saw massive ice jams just covering the entire width of the Allegheny River, the whole way across in both directions. So, unlike what my friend told me down at Freeport, I mean, that was interesting to see what was left, but here the ice is still intact and it hasn't yet broken free and started to move down the river. So I think the people downstream or below, they're going to have some interesting stuff to see in the days to come. I'm not sure how many other people are kind of just bumping around trying to check out the ice flows, but yeah, you can see the entire river's white. I mean, I wish this camera was wider angle. It's pretty epic. Nice. A little colder here, so maybe it'll, yeah, they're staying around, it's 40 degrees. ice flows, but I'll walk around a bit. So I'm gonna walk across a little bridge here. I think this is a walkable bridge unless they closed it down, and maybe get a better view of these ice flows. Now, never ever ever try to walk across these things because they could break free, although someone may have already done that. There's a guy like in the middle of the river. That's interesting, but it's not too bright because there's current in the river, and if you were to fall through, you could get sucked under some ice flows and not come out. A little bit different than a lake. If you fall through on a lake, I mean, that's bad, but not as bad as falling through on a river. Now, when these things break apart, they're going to make an interesting noise. This area was previously part of the bike trail, the Armstrong Trail, at one point in time, and I can't quite figure out why they're not able to extend it, or maybe they're working on extending it, but it was kind of, I think the original idea for the Armstrong Trail was it was going to extend all the way from Freeport at the bottom of Armstrong County all the way up to East Brady, and never quite happened. Alright. Not exactly trespassing, but I'm not exactly not trespassing. Standing on the thing that says no trespassing to get a better view. There you have it. I'm pretty sure that there is a guy out there. Just a lone figure. Looks like a guy. Now what looked like a person is actually a tree trunk coming out of the ice. So I'm just on the edge of the ice flow. Someone's dog was on here, you can see. So imagine if you were on the river, they would plunge quite a bit. Look at that ice, how beautiful it is. Clear, glassy. So this is what I like to do most, guys. I like documenting natural phenomena. I went to school to be a geologist, but my dream job would be to be a glaciologist, and you know, or someone that just goes out and kind of goes to extreme places and checks out things. So when things like this happen, I try to get to them and see what very few people will get to see, or what you don't get to see too often. So I'm zoomed out 30x, and I'll just pan along here. That big line of ice jams.
Pictures and images and videos and links, and I mean, it's just beautiful, right? And it has a web version and a...
So I stopped here just along the road, kind of in Rosston here, a little bit further up the Allegheny River, working my way toward Ford City. You can see the river is full of ice jams all the way across. Right over there is the bike trail.
He left us a review over on iTunes that says he's a new content creator, and these guys are the single most amazing source of info I've found. So good. I'm learning how to not only create better content, but streamline the process of getting online, etc. I can't wait to tap into more. I can't really take full credit for that entire review because I know he's talking about the full gambit of streamers and content creators here on the TubeBuddy, not only, Express podcast, but on the TubeBuddy YouTube channel. Because if you don't know, we have great people like Nick Nimmin, we got Brian Johnson, we got Owen Video, we got Daryl Hughes, we got Roberto Blake, we got myself, we have Andrew Kahn doing all of the just video content. I mean, over at TubeBuddy, we are pumping out. If you are a person wanting to get into YouTube in 2018, there is no better time than the present get on there. Don't wait till 2018. There's a few more months left in 2017.
Sorry, you'll have to wait till 2018 to watch this
Either that or I'm getting older. My grandma always said, the older you get, the quicker the time goes. But anyways, guys, get on there, jump on all that content. I promise you will not regret it. So what is the TubeBuddy Express Show? It is a 7 to 10 minute audio.
Alright, I'm gonna steal everything that this guy has. Do that. That's a big, looks like a cathedral. I don't think it is, because I think this would be the Diocese of Greensburg. Christ, Prince of something parish. That's good. It's a church of that size. It's good that it's named Christ and not Saint this or that, because it almost looks like a cathedral. There's a lot of old mills, I'm guessing, around kind of along the river. They sort of left the structures intact. I don't know if that's for ambiance. Kind of gives the town a certain little funk to it. A little different than Kittanning. Kittanning doesn't really have the mills and stuff. The bike trail goes right along here. So Pittsburgh Plate Glass Company, we now know that as PG, okay? And the trail is actually on an elevated platform, so it looks like I might get to see some good ice. Well, it's a Sunday evening. Hopefully they're not charging the bike trail. Let's see what's up here. Isn't exactly at the river. So the last stop of the evening, 5:23 here, is in Manorville, just north of Ford City. Here you can actually drive kind of along the river. Try to get as much of it as I can. I'd really like to stop. We finally found the place where I could stop. Right here at the sign. Trees are in the ice. This has to be a public area here. Don't want to be trespassing, or more than I have to at least.
It's kind of a mental thing or a mental barrier to kind of get a hold of. And then my final tip for cut hair. Why did I transition like that? Why does her face look like that? Why did I color correct? So you're always going to go back and you're always going to find things to do that people go back and a lot of my YouTube videos, and 4% of them are particularly your face. A lot of times I watch them and I'll be like, how can I just go back and just minute in the middle of the video in there? It didn't have a purpose. You're always trying to be perfect. You'll spend most of your time editing your videos and not very much time uploading them, which will be really detrimental to your YouTube channel. Because YouTube channel can't grow without content. So again, guys, you have to do a pattern. That's what there's every time you do a video edit, but you don't try to be. I interviewed Marion from Lots of Toys, talked with her about running a channel with her son in the children's and kids niche.
That is the Judge Graff Bridge across the Allegheny River. Goes from Kittanning to West Kittanning.
The number one tool to make your YouTube life easy. Each week, we discuss how you can utilize TubeBuddy to enhance your YouTube experience and make your life as a creator easier. And now, here's your host, Dusty Porter.
April 1st, 2017, bringing in the end of the year the right way here on the Two Buddy Disco. I'm going to be throwing in a bonus episode sometime this month with a really fun interview.